Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lenin Arellano, and I'm going to talk about the third lesson plan for the second period. Uh, the, the topic of this lesson plan is present progressive. The main objective is to be able to recognize the structure of the sentences and grammar structure to, to understand the best way. So in TEFL objectives we have for listening skill, we will be able to identify, differentiate, and recognize and following instructions about this topic. For speaking skill, we can easily name new vocabulary words and the correct use of the grammar and describe things of classroom using present progressive. For reading skill, we will be able to recognize the vocabulary, recognize new words, um, reading in magazines, stories, or books, and try to understand this or try to catch up this topic. For writing a skill, we can build our own sentences and to express the description of people, description of animals, description of things, and their their characteristics using present progressive. How methodologies and strategies for present progressive in classes, we have to use teaching communicative language, lingual audio method, uses of ECT if if is necessary of the of if the institute have uses of worksheet, working in team, work individual, and work in pairs. How strategies, we have role playing classes, expositions, interview between pairs, working pairs organizing sentences, working pairs communication activities, whole class work with conversations, review of worksheets, review the answer of these worksheets, how anticipatory set. Throughout the consecutive study of learning the use and application of grammar tense, the teacher investigates or reaches the last part of teaching tense that could be simple present tense, since this is linked and, and the teacher has the ability to better express the content, since the subject at that time is uh, easy to for students to understand and the structure remains similar to previous ones. Also, the teacher talks about the uses of present progresses and differences with the simple present, indicating their structure for affirmative, negative, interrogative form in present progressive. So the student easily to understand the topic, addresses and empowered to respond. So for description, this class, the topic for the description this class is present progressive. Due to the experience I had as a teacher the last semester, this topic will be divided into group of classes so that the students can better identify the uses of present progressive. As a warm up in the class, a video is presented in which parts to film will be presented in which the protagonist will mention phrases in which they uses the present progressive since the action continue. This will be a good way to connect the students. With the class theme, it is important for the teacher to emphasize each example of grammatical structure. After the presentation, the teacher should give the class starting with the grammatical structure. In this case, everything will be taught on the board with the respective examples so that the students can understand the subjects of the class. In this case, the important topic that are they will the students will develop when I work with the whiteboard so that the letter and the colors that are writing are clear for whole class for whole students in class, and above all they catch the attention of the students and have the best learning environment. The teacher can divide the class into groups. To each group, the teacher will give many words, writing, or small pieces of paper. The idea of this activity is that the students identify grammatical structures and form sentences with the words in front of the class. This activity that is carried out the dynamic and will allow us to see if the subject of the class was understood and if it is not corrected at that time. For this reason, the teacher must be aware and the work of each group and help in case of that are errors during the activity. After the group activity, the students will work independently the task in simple since the students must write some sentences as example of learning class with other verbs that are not those that were already used in the previous activity. The way of evaluating individual learning in this case it will be that the teacher will randomly choose some students to mention their examples. In the case of the skills that are developed are four skills necessary to learn foreign language, such as listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Each of the activities was carried out to practice that in the classroom and after the classroom could be in their houses. Um, Finally, the teacher could be uh, could be reviewed the topic and give more examples for homework and try to the another day the students can review in classes. Thank you very much.